If you have, do you have a screen open as well? If you can pull up the screen as well, that would be great. The PDF file.
PDF file. Okay.
Yeah. So that we can see what you guys are saying.
Okay. This one. Can you able to see? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's expecting next to our write-up, I suppose.
No,
So-
no. It's fine. It's fine. So everybody can take a look at the screen and you can flip back to the.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you are on the right thing when you were on the homepage.
Okay. This one.
No, no. I'll
scroll it to 6.2. What would you say?
6.2.
yes.
This one. Okay.
Yep. This one and 6.3. Yep. Those two.
Yeah,
Yep. Which is
okay.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. So first we have written about the header. Header no more than 60 pixels. So these two scenarios we have written about the header.
Okay.
This one. Also the primary navigation. If you go to the tabs, it will
So,
pop up the submenus.
Can I go back to that? Like it's when you look at it, if you can scroll back, what do you mean by it's no more than 60 pixel of vertical space and spans entire width of the page?
Suppose if we open in the tab or other screen, touch screen, the header should it should align to the width of the view, I guess, like the entire page.
Okay, so those were the cosmetic things that you're validating it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Can we, but
Actually, we want to know that are we
go-
supposed to check this?
Well, technically you are, but there are a couple of things that I would just kind of say. It's initially I would focus on functionality. The other aspect you have to think about it is, remember, this particular application is going to run on touchscreen devices as well as on potentially from a computer.
Mhm.
They each one may have a different aspect ratio.
Okay,
Okay.
so the resolution is going to change.
Right.
The stick, right?
Yeah.
60
So,
pixel.
so also like it's when, and I could be wrong, right? But I don't recall there was any requirement of the header page to be 60 pixel by page width, right?
It's here.
It,
Yeah,
it says that in the beginning, under the header explanation, it is there.
Okay.
here it is there.
But as you said,
Okay. So
the functional part,
so
right?
look at the requirements. Okay. It doesn't say it's 60 pixel. It just says it's no more than 60 pixels of vertical space. And look at your test case. When somebody says no more than 60 pixel, to me it is, you can adjust the screen based on what's needed, but it should never go more than 60 pixel. So it could be 40 pixel, it could be 50 pixels also. Also look at this. The header is designed to auto expand the width of user's monitor.
Oh,
Right. So a lot of times when you expand it, you also adjust the pixelate ratio of the vertical aspect.
okay.
Right. So it's something for you to consider it, right? So when there are specifically cosmetic aspects,
Mhm.
it's something that could change based on the need. And in this case, since you have two different screens, you can't guarantee that it'll be the same. So if you write a test case, right, it may be valid for one, may not be valid for the other platform. Specifically, I saw it, you say it's greater than 60 or less than 60, you're going to reject it.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
So let's focus on the functionality, right? So when you go back, what exactly is the functionality you expected to be tested?
navigation, if you click on the history button, it should navigate to this page,
Okay.
F26. Also, we have written these scenarios like 628 and 629 admin page. We log in as admin, and if there is a page F20, I don't
F20
remember
is
the number.
132.
132.
Okay,
sorry.
so can I ask you a question, guys? So if you flip back to the your test case, right? So yeah, here. Okay, stay on this screen. Nope, nope. You're good. Stay on
Okay.
the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So how many scenarios? What are you verifying here, other than the navigation part that you mentioned? Are there any other scenarios here?
It should display the home history.
Okay.
But
Stay,
for
stay there. Stay there.
22,
Yep. Stay there. Yep. Yes. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
So-
I mean, or comment on this one?
not on that one, but the 6.2, I
Okay,
guess.
so let's stay on this one first, right? Because you
Okay.
need to you want to make sure this page is correct, right? So what would you be verifying, right? I mean, that would be your scenario here. So what is the scenario you said, Anita?
It should display the history, details, these news
So
articles.
how do you know
uh,
that
like
it's displaying the right history?
Okay, it's archived news article, Anita. I think so. We are referring to page 135.
132, 135.
Hmm.
So do you need, like, go back to your test case scenarios?
Okay.
I just want to make sure you organize your thoughts and write it down properly. Okay.
Yes. So think of this way, right? So you said that initially there are two different views, right? One is I'm not an admin, I'm just coming in, I'm able to see the history. Is that correct?
Yes. Actually, yes. But, we actually logged in as admin.
Admin, yeah, we logged in as admin.
But those whoever logs in, not admin, should also be able to see the homepage, like the history archive, history.
Yeah.
archive.
So when I look at your test cases, right, the top and above, as Harshal said, you probably want to organize it, because right now it looks like to me there are multiple things, but there is no clarity in terms of who is doing what feature and functionality you are validating it, right? So like you're going all over the place, like it's from F20 to F21 to that, where your test cases should focus on, hey, what is the business functionality, not on what is the screen.
Okay.
Right? So like it's when you say when you click add new item button, F20, right? You're saying it navigates to F20. Well, but that's the logistics, right? That the way I could see it is step-by-step instruction when you're providing, hey, I click here, I went there. But what is the feature and functionality that you're trying to test it? Are you
We
trying to
should
create
fill in-
a new
Yeah,
history
to create.
message?
Yeah, to add new article, we should go there and fill in data and save if it is.
Right. So I would not go try to get detail, right? So your first test case will be ability as an admin to add a new article.
Yeah, this one. Yes.
Okay. So that's how it should be. The second one should be is ability to view existing articles, which is
Okay.
your history, right? When somebody logs in, that. Now, how do you ensure that, like, it's once I add something that is going to be visible, right? So is there a criteria when something goes into history versus something which stays on the page? Right. So you flip back to the document, the requirements document, right? So go to the home page, the 6.2, whatever that. Okay. So here, right? So no, it's 6.2. You're at 6.3, right? So just keep it, right? So here, gets displayed under what's new versus what gets displayed when somebody clicks a history button. Do you have a test case which talks about, hey, if I do certain things, it will get displayed into the main screen versus certain things will go into the history?
Yeah, if we 135, yeah, if we fill in the data here and save, if we select the active button, I think active
Right.
no, historical archive.
I understand you're talking step-by-step detail. What I'm saying is extract yourself to a leaf in the tree level.
Okay.
Okay. What feature and functionality you're testing, right? So essentially you need to get a scenario which says that, hey, if I add a new item, it shows up in a history. If I add a new item, it shows up on the homepage only. Those to me are two different scenarios.
Okay.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So organize initially, like it's the way you want to do it. And this is kind of true for every feature and functionality that you try to test it. Think it from an outside in first. If you're a quality assurance person, the first thing you should be is, if a user is using this system, what are the features and capabilities I need to validate that it works? Then second set is you can go into it. What are the cosmetic things? If there are specific requirements, I'll look into it. What are the non-functional requirements that I need to look into it? Right. So almost kind of categorize your work into three categories, and it becomes a much more easier to identify if you're missing anything or not.
Okay.
Right.
Anybody has a written differently? Any other team? I'm still not clear on the test cases that you guys wrote. Okay, so I just want to see somebody else see if they have a better way of writing it.
So Harshal, are you talking about this 6.29?
It's a functionality, right? So homepage functionality. Does anybody have test cases written down? So
So
don't look at just one screen, right? It's a
okay,
6.2 and
yes.
6.3 is a functionality
So
together.
yes, thank you. So for the homepage 6.2, we didn't write down the test cases or the number. We just got the like a scenario where we can write down the more test cases when we go and deep down in it.
Okay, so
So
did
we
you
need,
document that, Deepal?
yeah,
You guys want
Kobe
to share it?
did.
See what you guys have?
Yeah, Kobe did it, and we all just pitched in to the conversation. So Kobe can share the screen. So here is the first thing we need to check, and we need to ask you for 1 and 2 also. As you can see, we need to check that our URL is working or not.
I think, Deepal, can you get closer to your mic? Your voice all of a sudden faded a lot.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, now it's better.
Yeah. So we need to ask you that there are the two things here. First of all, we are checking the URL. Is it working or not? And when we click on it, does it open in the browser? And the home page will come up. And the second thing,
Hang on, Deepal, 1 minute. Kobe, can you zoom in? It's very difficult to
yes.
see it. I think it's a much bigger screen layout. There you go. Thank you.
Yes, and
All
the
right.
second thing is once we open that URL, it shows the element 01, 02, and 03. So should we test two different test cases on this one, or we can
What is
combine?
element 01,
So
02, 03?
yes, first one is a welcome text, which shows what is this business is all about, what kind of service they provide, and how to use it. That is the element 1. Element 2 is a what's new article, which shows the displays the list of the articles that have been defined in F20 and F21. And the third one, element 3 is a history button, which can, once we click on it, it will show us all the history article or archive article. So which will navigate us to the history page. That we all understood, but the first question was this one: can we combine number 1 and number 2?
Well, so I'll go back to the same comment that I give it to the other team, right? You are too much in terms of clicking steps, right? When you say it's element 2 displays a list of new articles of 20 and 21. What is element 2? Think it from a user's point of view. Okay. You got to figure it out when you say URL shows elements 1, 2, and 3. To me, what is the test case 1 versus what is the test case 2? What exactly are you going to validate it? Can you log in URL? Is that what you're trying to validate? Or are you kind of validating it as, hey, when a user lands in, the home page does display all these 3 pieces of information?
Yes, both of them.
Yes,
The
we
first
thought
one,
No, you can't say both of them. What is it? Is that a URL? You're saying that somebody can log in?
not he just wrote login. The word was wrong. What is wrong here? We want to check the URL functionality. First
Okay.
one is a URL functionality. The second one, the home page is displaying what it's supposed to display.
Is that the step detail?
No,
What is
these are just scenarios or leaf we can call. We need to work on these areas on this page. That's what we were discussing. So maybe the written
no?
the
So
way
so
we
when you say this is a leaf, login is a leaf. Second one is you're talking about URL shows element 1, 2, and 3. It's a leaf. Is that actually like just a homepage getting displayed properly? Is that a expected results when I log in?
yes, it's supposed to we
So how come it's a different, unique test case? Can you test number 2 without doing number 1?
for number 2, yes, we can do it separately also.
Well, think of it. Login is more security, right? That's a completely different test case. It's nothing to do with the homepage test scenario. Right?
Yes.
So that should not be part of your homepage test scenarios. Your homepage test scenario should focus on the functionality of that particular page.
We got some different scenarios here.
Maybe you guys can share yours, and that might help other teams as well.
We actually wrote on a piece of paper, not on anywhere, but if somebody opens the requirement, I can tell what all the scenarios we
Okay.
got.
Can you take a snapshot and share it?
It's just a simple one. I can just explain. It's nothing
Yeah, just
complicated.
explain it, Nilima.
Okay.
See what you guys have.
Yeah. So for the home page 6.2, we got 3 scenarios. One is welcome text, what's new article, and history button. So for each of those, then we can go and elaborate the test cases, like for the welcome text, log into the URL, and this should be displayed, and all those. Those are the later on test cases, but just the high level scenarios are welcome text, what's new article, and history button, those 3.
So you didn't tell what's new. What is your scenario for what's new? Just focus on the what's new, right? What exactly would be your scenario there when you say what's new?
So for that
What are you
scenario,
planning to test, I guess?
the functionality of that element on the home page, like what it's supposed to do, what it's supposed to display.
So how would you test it as a high level? Not the step by step, but what is that you are testing? So if I can click on what's new, then what? What are you expecting?
So let me go back to the requirement. So the what's new should be like the display of what is all the new information, the registration of users, and all those information displaying there. So since the home page is most of it is just a display, nothing, we cannot do much of interaction there apart from the history button clicking. So I'm checking here if it is properly displayed the way it's supposed to display.
Okay.
So any comments on that? Like, are we on the right path or totally went wrong on it?
So if you guys wrote down, Nilima, we can see it a little bit in the scenarios, a listing of scenarios or something like that. But I'm not sure what exactly would be, because as a high level scenario, right? You are doing some action and then you have high level verification. That's your kind of like a leap technically. So I understand you are testing the what's new, but what are you verifying when you click on what's new? What is that you are expecting at that point? You are saying it would end up on the listing page, but then again, what are you verifying over there? Let's say you are on some page. What would you verify?
Since this is the home page, I'm just verifying to see if there is a welcome text on the home page, and also verifying if what's new article displayed on the home page, and also a history button displayed on the home page as well.
Okay.
And in the test cases for the history button, clicking on it and it will go to a new window. It open a
Okay.
new window. That will all be the steps for the test steps.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Dilip? I'm just thinking
Yeah, I think it's
maybe they
once-
have it, but they haven't documented the way they should. But maybe they have it. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's what Nilima was going to change. If somebody can take a snapshot and do it, because I'm more a visual person. I think it looks like you are on the right track, but then I want to also think about like it's your reasoning behind it. Because to me, when you say it's, hey, I'm testing what's new functionality, well, there are two aspects of it, as I was talking about, is when I go click it and shows it what is there. And then second aspect is how do I add something and it shows up in a what's new, right? Because those two are a key part of the homepage. Same thing goes with history. What can I see it there? And then what happens when I add something? How does it shows? So it's pulling the thread a little bit more to understand it is when certain things is going to come in WhatsApp and what certain things is going to be displayed differently.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did not like documented it. We just wrote it down like on a
Right.
piece of paper.
So just one piece of comment, right? Since I've been kind of much more in the real world for longer, is the expectation would be is not just that here you're talking through it. The expectation would be is people want to see it more organized so that you can actually present it right away, right? And this is common for all three teams, right? When you look at it, you kind of like it's put a whole bunch of listing, but it was not organized. So when you are going and presenting that to, let's say, a development team or your project manager to identify, hey, here are the different test scenarios I need to do it, even to your other QA team members. If you're not organized, it becomes very hard for them to comprehend. Okay, that's one of the skills that you guys have to master it. as you go through it? How do you present your thought in a much more organized way?
All right. So I think they helps. Yeah, go ahead, Deepal.
Harshal, we also included that maintenance scheduled for maintenance and a new functionality, but we couldn't go and think more about it. How can we verify it, or how can we test it? Where we
No,
can
but
log.
maintenance functionality, right? I mean, do you have a module that talks about the maintenance windows or
No,
maintenance functionality, or that's part of the what's new?
no, that is not part of the what's new. That is just a few words they on the home page, above the home page in the paragraph, they are just giving us the example.
Mhm.
If the application is scheduled for maintenance or a new functionality enhancement, it will be displayed here. So the other user of the system will be notified.
Okay.
So as a group, and I also, we were thinking as a part of the home page, we need to, these are the one of the scenarios. But we
Okay.
don't know how can we verify that.
It's just a text, right?
Yes,
So you
it's
can
just a
publish
text.
whatever you want, whatever you need through the homepage admin module, and you should be able to see that on the homepage from there. So you need to link up those two modules, which is fine, but you need to have at least. So I mean, it's a text, a static text doesn't count. Okay, you need to create the actual homepage item with that content, and then it will show up on the homepage from that standpoint. I think let's see here.
So
I'm
this
just
is not the actual test case scenarios for with these two things.
that is correct. Yeah, those
Okay.
login one you have to throw it out because it's not really relevant to what functionality you are testing.
So don't just go there. The writing part. Writing was awful. What we are saying, we didn't say it correctly here in written
Right, right.
language.
Yeah,
So
that might be the case. Okay, that might be
yes.
the case.
So we
But
understood all the three things, but
okay,
our writing is not there. No, it
okay,
is not good enough.
all right, okay, that's fine. So make sure you guys correct it, okay? Because we want to see it because that's something you guys need to improve upon from the scenario standpoint. Let's take a look at the individual receiving module one, and see if that one has a better way of putting it down. Is that you guys, Deepal, or that's some other team? I think that's Nilima, Dhanasri, and Shruti.
Yeah, and
Okay.
our team didn't go that far yet because
Oh, you guys haven't
everybody,
done worked it? Okay.
yes, so maybe everybody has that thought how to do it, but we
Okay.
didn't do anything for those 6.28 and 29 as a
I
team,
see. I
you know,
see.
on the
I
piece
see.
of paper.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, how about other teams? Did you guys had a chance to finish that up, or that's something you still needs to be done?
Yeah, we didn't even go through with the
I see.
6.5,
Okay.
the receiving
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
We want to
All
make
right.
sure that we were on right page for the home page one.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So let's talk about the homepage one. Okay. Then let's pull that up here quickly. Because I think you have it. Maybe we can talk a little bit further. Maybe spend maybe 15 minutes on this one, and then you guys can work through other ones and correct it actually. So this is the homepage functionality, right? Yeah, I think everybody has a good idea about what the functionality is supposed to do, right? But if I am writing this test case, right, or test scenarios here, yes, I need to. Let me go ahead and share that. Okay, so I'll end up here, right? So again, important part is, I think we talked about this one, like as a high level, who is doing the work, who part, then what functionality they are testing, right? So here, homepage, you should be able to identify what is that you are verifying. Okay, so I think you all got some text under admin, right? Whatever the static tags they agreed upon, you can verify that. But important part is, hey, does this history feature works okay or not? Now, I think some of you mentioned that you are going to test that, right? By clicking on the history button and see if it takes you to history page. Now it's a valid scenario, right? So let me start writing it down a little bit further here, right? So scenarios, and let me know if you guys have anything different, okay? Because it might be you guys wrote it down a little bit differently than what I am writing it here. So history button, verify.
Yeah, Harshal, but if you kind of keep it the same text as you wrote it upstairs, right? Who and what functionality.
Yeah.
So let's put a scenario for admin. Here are the scenarios. For non-admin, here are the scenarios, right? Because there's a little bit of that. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
Right. So now you
So
guys can
history feature.
think visually, hey, I'm going to, depending on who I am, that's going to be a little bit different functionality.
Okay. List of news items that are archived. Okay.
Herschel, change that new to news.
Yeah, news item.
There we go.
News items that are archived or historical news item. That's what we are saying.
Yep.
Or archived news items. Okay. Okay. Now, how would you validate that? That's where your. But this is the scenario that you should test it. Maybe view list of archived news item by clicking on history feature. So am I able to see the archived only, or am I able to see everything? Those are some of the things that you need to test, and that would be the scenario. Okay. And then if I come back here on this page, right? Now under what's new, right? So am I able to see everything that is basically new items, right? History feature, then what's new? View list of current news items, non-archived basically, right? Or whatever, unarchived or non-archived, whatever the active items, right? Active items. Okay. So those are the two scenarios you can easily identify, but you make sure you describe what the scenarios are. What are you verifying here, and who is doing it? Now this page is visible to only admin, or it's available to everybody. Again, I think this one would be available to any user that is part of it, right? So that's what you will. It's available to non-admin as well as admin as well. So it doesn't really matter who the user is. You should be able to view these features. Okay. All right. Let's move back here. Now history, home history, right? This is what we were talking about. Am I able to view correct archived items? And now you can go to the level down. Hey, am I able to see all the information verified as well? Basically, with the proper information, right? Not just the list of archived items, but hey, am I able to see the date? Am I able to see the registration of users and the other text and so forth? So does it make sense? Most of you guys have it, but I'm just saying it's just a way you describe it may not be that clear to us. Is it you guys were thinking of from this particular feature wise homepage?
For us, Harshal, yes, we are thinking that way.
Okay.
Yes.
How about other teams? Okay,
Yes,
that's
we
what I
do.
thought. I think most of you have it. It's just the way you guys described it. Maybe it's mixed up with other things.
Yes, yes, Harshal. We
Yes.
also come up with the same thing, but just
Right.
like communication, not on the.
Right. Understand.
So Harsh,
Um,
like what we mentioned in the URL, what we meant is like whether it's admin or non-admin. So maybe we didn't put it in the words, but
Right.
that's what we meant. Like URL means
Okay.
who is able to log in.
Right.
So
Now here,
she
the
meant,
admin or non-admin doesn't matter, right? Because I mean,
yes.
it's pretty much homepage, so everybody should have the same thing. But here I'm logging in as non-admin. Am I able to see this? Now you can have the same scenario. Hey, if I log in as admin, will I be able to see anything different? They shouldn't.
Oh yeah,
But-
that's what we wanted to confirm, like whether anybody
right.
can see the home page or only few, means the
No,
admins.
no. I mean, they will be able to see both, right? Because it's for the site from their standpoint. So,
Okay.
somebody was saying something.
No, it was me. I was just saying that this is a homepage, so I thought everybody is going to see the homepage
Right.
exactly the same. That's what I was
Right.
talking about.
Okay. So that's a feature. Now, how part, right? How you are going to validate that, right? So again, you have to drill down here, view list of current news item. Now, what makes it current? You need to understand what makes it current news item. What does it mean? Because that's the important part of your scenario. And that's where you have the other module comes in the picture. What makes it archived, right? Because you want to see only archived one. Here you want to see only current, basically, as part of what's new. So that's where you need to go back to the other module.
So, Herschel, isn't it like we can use the steps where we click on the active checkbox and click on the archive history checkbox?
That is correct. So those are the other scenarios. But here you
Yes.
can just, if you want, this is what you are testing. As long as you understand, you are good. You don't need to
Okay.
write down any more details because this is a scenario. This is again a scenario. Okay. And then you are done with your homepage items. Okay. You don't need to write down steps yet because that's not what we expected you to write down steps. What exactly you would do. But as long as you understand, if you don't understand what the current, how you can make the current news item, then you will have trouble writing the steps as well. Same thing, what it means archive, you need to understand that as well. So at this part, you are done with the homepage items, right? Okay. Now, how do you do that other part? That's where you go to the. Does anybody remember the page number for the homepage?
Homepage.
Page
The
is
admin.
13.
I think 130.
Not the homepage, yeah, homepage admin.
132.
132.
132. Okay. All right. Okay. So homepage admin has more test cases, right? So you can obviously add a new item. Can I go and add a new item here, right? If I do the testing for this one. So now let's talk about homepage admin. So as an admin, basically add a new item, right? New homepage news item. Okay, that's what this feature, this button will allow you to do. Obviously, you can do the filtering, right? Filter phrases and so forth. Can you edit any existing news item, right? So those are the three high-level scenarios here. Edit or modify existing homepage news item, and search or filter for existing news item. So basically, does the search work? Right? That's what we are talking about for the scenarios. Now, as part of the search, obviously you can break down further because you have these two filter phrase and the yes button. And then you have to look at the algorithm as well. Okay. Because it's a combination. This is the algorithm. So you're testing the algorithm. And this is what SQL like syntax, you probably will see it here. Display all records where AT is like FP or AC is like AD. Okay. So this one you can easily expand to the multiple scenarios here. Okay. So search might have more than 4 scenarios. I can see it easily with the different combination, 4+ scenarios for search. Okay. With the different combination of fields. All right, then moving on to the actual adding the items, right? So again, you need to have the scenarios here. How do you create active? What makes it active? Current news item. If you have active only selected, right? So you probably want to test that and see if it shows up on the homepage, basically actual homepage under active section as well. Same thing, historical archive. Does it show up under history when you check this field only, along with entering the information and marking it as a historical archive? So you want to test that as well. So I'm listing out here, add a homepage news item, add active item, active news item, add archive news item. Okay, then verify it shows up. On the history page. Then verify it shows up on current news item. Shows up under current news item. Okay, so you have two scenarios here, right? But in here you could have easily 4. Then you have 5, modify 1, and then 6 or 7. So about 7 to 10 scenarios you can easily identify. Homepage admin section, homepage admin. Sorry, home news item admin. 7 to 10 scenarios, and for this one, at a high level, you can have T. Maybe you can add one more just to verify the content and so forth, and that would be your third one for the homepage scenario. Okay. So is everybody clear? I mean, did you guys think of this scenarios as well? I'm assuming you guys have it. Some of you showed us, but I'm just want to make sure.
Yeah, we have done that one. Harshal, if you can
Okay.
see yeah.
No, that's fine. I mean, I think most of you have understanding. It's just that the way you guys wrote it might be different, and it maybe it didn't become that clear to us. That's all. Okay. How about the other teams?
We did the same thing for the news page, except for the modification, checking
Okay.
the modification.
Right. You have to make sure you test out every functionality, piece of every functionality, which is on the page. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the pages, right? I mean, the text and so forth. Yeah. Okay. This title allows alphanumeric values. Okay. So you could easily expand that for alphanumeric or apply all the common ones. Has to be basically whatever is identified in the common section at the top. That will apply through this text as well. But we are not expecting you to identify as those scenarios, but you can easily add those as a scenario as well. Okay. But this is on the functionality side. So, yep. All right. So let's do one thing. You guys have some work to do here for the actual module as well, right? So I think most of you have to just break it down this way. Okay. I mean, who is doing the work and follow the same process for that one as well. And see what you guys came up with for the actual receiving module, inventory and warranty, whichever ones are assigned to you guys. Do you think you guys can work through that?
Yes, I think we can.
So Harshal,
Okay.
we are going to do the same thing for the
Warranty
actual
Right,
work.
right. That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah, I mean, this one is actual too. I mean, so, I
No,
mean,
no, no. This is
yeah,
the common one, but the you
right.
already assigned us that one.
Yep. That is correct. That is
Yeah.
correct. So couple of ways we can do it. I mean, you guys can continue working, right? And we can basically, what time is it over there? I'm just thinking
11.
time wise.
So 12.
12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already 12.
Yeah, it's known.
So yeah, it's almost noon time. So I don't think you guys will be able to finish it up in 30 minutes. So what we can do is basically I will get you guys as a work as a basically as a team to finish that up. Okay. From home, home meaning like as a team, and make sure you guys review it and come up with the solid work basically next week on that.
What I would
Um,
also
yeah,
recommend, Herschel, is as a
yeah,
team, then when you work through it, right, put together here is our current version. And I would say is send it to us either Thursday or Friday. So give us an opportunity to quickly look at it also
right,
before Sunday so that we are
right,
ready for the discussion because we need to make sure we cover up the time
right.
that we
That's
missed
correct.
here.
Yep.
So are we writing the test cases and test scenarios or just the test scenarios?
I no, I think what we like you guys to do is pick 2 test cases and work through as a team. Okay. So coming back to the receiving module, right? And those test cases has to be focused on the business process side. Okay. So kind of like here, we don't want you to write the test cases for individual piece of buttons. Can I select the items or not? Okay. Now you can certainly pick customer or vendor here, which is fine, but make sure it's a valid test case. But other test cases are the identical different from start because these are the business process type of things, right? So we like you guys to write at least one test case for this type of business process and then pick one maybe from shipment, or can I pick the right shipment? Can I pick the right customer? Basically, and does the
Yeah.
customer list shows up here or not properly and so forth.
So Herschel, are you saying let's get
At least 2
the
test cases. Yeah.
trees and then
Yep.
2 test cases from those 3? Because I
Yep.
definitely would like to see it. Hey, what are high level functional test case scenarios you need to do it? Let's say, for example, for this particular screen, which is FO3.
Right.
Right. Is it like just like what Herschel kind of showed it for the homepage, right? Here are the high level number of scenarios that I need to test it. And here are the detail for the 2 business scenarios.
Yep. And put it
Okay.
in the proper format, in the proper template and so forth. Yep.
Yeah. Does it make sense to everybody? Is it clear?
I'm going to the shipping one, right? So at least I want to see one scenario on the process, another, okay? And then maybe pick something else. But you guys come up with the scenario, but this one has to be part of the scenario. Okay, process another. And on the warranty ones, make sure you pick the ready to ship, right? That's the right scenario. Plus pick another one that you guys think.
Now just
For
remember,
writing the detailed test case. Yep.
yeah, just remember one thing is when you write the detail, you need to understand it, how the data is set up, which is going to trigger this test case scenario. And then how are you going to verify it by
Right.
going to the different module that things that you just completed successfully has been passed.
Yep.
Oh, Harshal, can you just tell a little bit about the warranty one? What we need to make sure? You said
The ready to ship, right? That's the business process triggering. I think Basu, is Basu in your team or?
no, we are the online team.
Oh, you are the online team. Is it what you guys have? Okay. So was you hoping you guys went through that, right? This module.
So not with the today's discussion, but we can come up with it.
We can,
Yeah.
yeah.
But this is the button. Okay. This is this one triggers a business process. So we want you to focus on this one when you are writing the detailed test case. Okay. But obviously the scenarios wise, you will have probably at least 30, 20 scenarios on this page. So we like you guys to identify those, what those are, how can you test this functionality end to end, and so forth. Okay, so ready to
In
ship, that has to be there.
And do
Yeah,
you want us to write down in the test format?
Yep, yep. Use the template.
step by
Yeah.
steps, right?
Template? Okay.
What are the steps, expected condition? Now, one thing I want to like just say it, right? And I'm kind of a more, I would say, it's aggressive than Herschel in this scenario. Just because you are done with one test case, don't stop there. You identify a whole bunch of test cases in the test scenario. The more you practice it, the more you will get better.
Right.
So at a minimum, what we needed is, right, 2 test cases and scenarios, right? So that's a minimum. But since it's a teamwork, I would like it personally to see it some more thought put into it in terms of how we're going to do it.
Yes, we'll try our best. Yes.
Yeah,
Because
give it a shot, right?
This is your opportunity, right? What I'm looking, to be honest, is how successfully you gain the knowledge and how you're applying it.
So are we writing the test cases for 6.2, 3, 28, 29, and then our individual one, right?
So test cases you are writing on receiving, cartridge inventory, and warranty shipping. Okay, those 3 modules for now. Okay. Now, if you want to pick one scenario from here, yes, go ahead. Yeah, do that. Basically, certainly, I mean, more scenarios you will write, that's going to help you. So kind of like we have the scenarios here, right? So let's say you write a scenario for view list of current news item. Go ahead and write it, detailed step-by-step instruction, how you would test it if you are a user of the site.
So here is one approach I may suggest it, like it's to think about it, right? So you have anywhere between 3 to 4 people or 3 to 5 people in your teams, right? One of the things you can do it is define all the test scenarios together as a team. And they said, hey, you know what, let's just go individually, write one test case each, and then come together and review each other's and provide the feedback.
Right.
Right. To that, it allows all of you to practice your skill. At the same time, allows you to give a feedback to the team member in terms of how effective their test case is.
Okay.
Right? Think about it between now and next Sunday.
Do we have access to this application?
Why
You
do you
don't
need an
it.
access?
Why do you need? Yeah. Yep. You don't
Think
need
of
it.
it,
Right?
you got a requirements document and you need to build a test plan and the test scenarios based on that.
Okay. So if I'm saying like I have to write the test cases for the receiving, so I will write the test cases for each button, like, or any button, right?
So let me ask you a question, Dhanashree.
Mhm.
Somebody gave you this requirements document and asked you that, hey, go ahead and test the receiving functionality. What would you do?
I will test each and every button and those like.
Yeah, so think of it as a team, you have been tasked to test the receiving function. What is your team should do?
So we will, but the application is not ready, right? We can't
Again, remember,
putting the things in.
again, you're missing the whole point.
Mhm.
What is the job of a QA person? Are you going to have a system always ready for you, or are you going to give a
No.
requirement in that? Right. What you just told me, Dhanashree, is, hey, unless the system is ready, I can't write my test cases.
No.
Okay.
Mhm.
Again, I'm just asking you guys a question to think about it. This is what you're going to end up in a real world. Are you going to be asking similar questions in the real world?
No.
So Dhanashree, if I now turn around and says, hey, your team needs to test receiving functions, do you guys have enough information to get started with test scenarios and test cases?
I will
I
check.
think that you guys should be able to do it. Okay. I don't see any issue. So let's put in an effort, and we'll regroup on next Sunday at the same time, right? And we'll work through that. But make sure you guys come prepared. Means like all the test cases, test scenarios written down, ready to be reviewed, and few test cases as a team. Make sure you review it prior to that. I'm assuming you guys will be reviewing each other's work. That's because it's a team project. So make sure you meet it on Saturday to review it and flush it out before we meet on Sunday. Just like that, you can work through the same process. Yep. Any other question? I think you guys will be fine.
So I have just only one question about we are going to send our work by Thursday. So should we email any of us? One of us can email you. Would that be okay?
Yeah, again,
Yeah,
remember,
yeah,
like it's what we said, it's you send an email for us to quickly look at it before it so that we can minimize the time to review it
Yes.
when we are like it's meeting on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Right.
And
Yes.
let me tell you all one thing. You all know it. It's just a matter of now confidence and applying it.
Yeah. I
Yes,
think
you are
the work
you are
wise.
absolutely right.
Yeah,
I guess
right.
I don't know about others, but I can tell mine. I am lacking in writing, where I can put
right.
my thoughts on the paper. That is the most important part, because I understood I'm coming up with these ideas, but the thoughts, the way the words we need to use, I need to use, are supposed to come out.
So the quickest way to do it is just don't be afraid. Just put it on a paper, share it with one of your team member, and just say, okay, how do you interpret this? Get that feedback and fine tune it.
Yes, that is a good idea.